got a full house. Man, what a great start to the game for our team, and we've really worked hard defensively. And I thought JT had two tremendous practices since we've been back from West Virginia, and I thought his competitiveness tonight was tremendous. Just coming up with, I think it's 18 rebounds and having 3 blocks, 2 steals. It just felt like his competitiveness was right. In a night where maybe the ball didn't go in, it's easy for him. Man, he's finding ways to win. Luke was awesome. It was good to get him minutes to see his improvement. And then ultimately I felt like the 21 points off offensive rebounds to their 0 was the difference in the game. I mean, we turned the ball over a little bit too much, and give them credit for the way they pressured us, and we were trying to do some different things with some different lineups that were new, and we got out of some normal spacing, which led to some turnovers. But, man, I thought our team grew in the right way, especially defensively, and it was fun to see these guys compete.
Can you talk about the amount of effort you saw? I know coming out of half, you guys get up 11 points to their 1. You got guys like Luke, who you said you wanted to integrate into the rotation. He was aggressive, getting fouled. Can you just talk about the effort that you saw?
Yeah, we've been looking at some numbers, and to finish halves and to start the second half in the last 4 minutes, we've seen a pretty significant dip. And I know a lot of that has to do with playing guys minutes and them thinking they're going to play minutes. So just the lift that Luke gave us to start the second half, we got him in there pretty quickly, and I thought it was great. But really, you know, it's been pretty consistent that Donovan Atwell shows up every night. And he's been phenomenal. I mean, his maturity is one thing, but his competitiveness tonight when we needed a lift, I just thought he was in the middle of every play. I mean, every rebound, every big 3. He just has a way right now of finding ways to win the game and help us stay in the fight when maybe we're getting out of it. And it's been awesome. He did the same thing at Colorado. He made a couple threes late. I mean, Donovan Atwell, just his composure and his competitiveness was great. I thought Christian had a great floor game and had the right defensive effort. Jalen Petty finished the game well, but his defense keeps improving, and it's fun to see these guys really make jumps defensively, and then to get all the guys on the floor that we need minutes starting to move in that direction, because we're going to need everybody down the stretch.
You talked about that 23 second chance points was the difference compared to their 0. Can you talk about what exactly went right in the paint for that to happen?
Well, one, I thought our ball movement was good, so we got them in some rotations, and 2, I did think we had some size advantage at different positions. And then how do you take advantage of that? Well, one is throwing it to the post, and they kept doubling us, and that opened up the 3 in the first half. And then when we missed, or when we got a good shot, they were in rotation, so then we had a size advantage on weak side rebound, and I thought Luke took advantage of that. Lawan took advantage of that. JT took advantage of that, and Tyree had a couple of good offensive rebounds too, so it was fun to see all those guys get in the mix.
Coach, you were really fired up after Luke led to a rebound, and Luke has made it easier on JT on the opposite side. What does a 2-big lineup help you to get those rebounds easier?
Well, I just appreciate being a Red Raider, you know, and I think people appreciate when you're competitive and fight and scrap and find ways to win in the margins. And that's who we are as Red Raiders, and that's who I want to be as a coach, and that's what I want our team to be. And so when you see that kind of fight, I hope that people would enjoy it too and encourage our team, because that's a big part of it. And having Luke back out there and having him, I wanted him to feel the same excitement that I feel when I see him make those kind of plays. And then Don at the other end had denied a pass and saved it in bounds, and then we get the extra effort on Luke's. I mean, just like, that's how you win. And that's what I'm trying to convince our team. It's how we started against West Virginia, and tonight, the first play of the game, we came up with a loose ball, and the second we didn't. And I just thought that, and JP got a foul, Jalen Petty, that is. So I want our guys to be encouraged when we're playing the right way and competitive.
And in that way, are you feel that this is the way that this team has to play going up for Saturday?
Yeah, well, Colorado's a great offensive team. I mean, they're in the top half in our league on offense. And so they've put up some big numbers in games and played great offensively. And we got up 20 whatever at their place. So it wasn't like I was feeling good ever in this game. You know, I mean, probably with like 2 minutes to go, and I subbed Jackie, and I felt good. But other than that, I mean, I was on edge, and I told the officials I'm going to be on edge just because I wanted our guys to feel it, and I wanted everybody in the building, because people can assume that you win games, and it's not the way this works. There's 2 teams, and they have a scouting report, and you play for 40 minutes, and there's a scoreboard, and you play the game. And whoever's the best team for those 40 minutes, no matter who think they're going to win before or who's supposed to, it's about what you do for that time you get. And I see our team advancing in the right way, and our energy is what it needs to be. And we got some depth coming.
Well, you were very good defensively in a lot of different aspects, but what is the single area of the defense that you were most pleased with tonight?
I thought our ability to turn them over. I mean, we don't do that well in our league, and we're probably 15th out of 16 in turning people over. And I thought JT and Luke's vertical presence on these ball screens really got those guards going backwards. And they scored actually off a lot of screening actions and shooting actions and in transition and off our turnovers. I mean, that's how they kind of got loose in the first half, and that's how they got loose in the second half. But when we got them in the half court and we were active and we were playing in ball screen coverage and we were able to protect the rim, I just thought our fight was right in that way. And I think that led to 16 turnovers, which that's probably got to be one of our highest of the season.
And how do you feel that the combination of JT and Luke together is coming along?
Well, I think we all saw it. I mean, Luke got some offensive rebounds, and Luke relocated, and JT passed it to him, and then Luke caught it when they doubled JT at the high post and ripped and went left and finished. And then, you know, maybe as much as anything, it's those 2 guys out there playing defense, which can lead to some offense. And we didn't get a ton of transition offense because we were up big, so we were more trying to make sure we were getting the right shot. But I ultimately think that to see those guys grow in confidence, and we changed a few things offensively, which, like I said, caused us to turn the ball over. But, I mean, JT's composure level of handling the ball is just grown exponentially. So I trust him handling the ball. And then when they did invert and got Luke at the rim off a lob and JT's in the corner, he makes a 3 in the second half. So it's just good to see those guys finding the space and the rhythm to play together. And obviously Christian's a unbelievable point guard to make it all happen. I thought he had early in the first half, he ball faked and snapped that ball into Luke, you know, and that kind of stuff is what's opening up, is seeing all the shooting around him, and with JT putting pressure on rebounding. I think that's probably the biggest advantage, is our ability to offensive rebound with those 2 guys in the game.
Coach, you've talked about how size, length, and physicality is really crucial in this league, and obviously you were talking about JT and Luke's combo there, especially at the rim with the physicality. What does that say about specifically Luke's confidence level going into Saturday, as well as integrating him going into before March?
Well, you know you're confident when you go into those timeouts, and Luke was trying to do a lot of talking. And I don't know, that hadn't happened many times in with our team. I mean, he's always had energy when he doesn't play, but when he's usually so exhausted when he gets to those timeouts, he doesn't say much. He's just trying to figure out if he can stand up. But it was nice to hear him communicate what our team needs to do in those timeouts. That's when I was like, okay, we're figuring this out now. You know, like, I can leave him out there a little bit longer. And I will tell you, I do think we had probably our 2 best practices of the year this week going into this game. And a big part of that was JT's approach. I mean, JT came into it trying to, like, win practice. And I just thought that rubbed off on Luke, and to see Luke join in on the competitiveness and fight that it takes, him communicating in those timeouts was really a big point for me to see, like, okay, the ownership and his love for this is starting to be him. Not us trying to tell him what to do and him trying to do what I ask him to do. It's him believing and communicating that to our team. And that was a big jump for us.
And then Christian was obviously getting trapped early in the first half. But what was sort of the adjustments that you guys made in the huddles during the timeouts or in the locker room at halftime?
Well, we were working on quick moves and quick actions to try to get to the next action. And then we changed it, and we had some lineups we haven't played much. And so Chris was waiting for the advanced pass, and we didn't move to the ball quick enough for it to happen. And then, you know, part of that is too, I mean, we were baiting them into it at first, but we just weren't creating what we needed to create behind the ball. And unfortunately, it took us too long to figure that out.
Grant, how big was it to use more of your bench tonight, and maybe you get Christian and JT some minutes, some rest?
Yeah, we actually debated it pretty closely on how to get Jalen in there for Christian in the first half, and we wanted to make that substitution at one point, but they cut the lead to, I don't know, maybe it was 10. Kind of when we got to the 5-minute mark, we were at a good place at up 11, and we were going to sub him there. They cut it to 10 right after that, and so I was like, no, we're not doing it. So, but the second half, it was good for all those guys. I mean, we did sub JT a few times for the timeout. That was nice just because we had Luke. And but when Jalen got some foul trouble, it was hard to go back with him as early as we wanted to. He got 3 fouls, so I was kind of like, how do we figure this out? And in the back of my mind was us being up 20-plus at their place and them coming back. So probably played a little more conservative than I wanted to at times, but it definitely is huge to see all those guys get minutes because we need game experience in the Big 12.
How important also was it to have this kind of performance heading into that Arizona game?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, as much as it was for us to have this great a performance, I think it showed a lot that our team approached practice the way we did going into this Colorado game. And I don't know, with games stacking on top of you, everybody likes to watch the Arizona-Kansas game, and it shows us on the screen that we play Arizona next, Well, that was not next, I mean, we played Colorado next. And they were obviously talking about having game day and all that for Saturday, but I'm just glad our guys had the right approach going into practices. That said a lot. And then, honestly, we came out, and usually the student section's full right away. And tonight it wasn't. And so I asked our guys in warm-ups. They were like, no, we went hard, and still we were really competitive in warm-ups too. So I was like, okay, these guys are playing this thing the right way. They're not looking for energy to come from other areas. We're going to create our own energy tonight and figure out a way to win the game.
Yeah, Coach, a few weeks ago you talked about after the BYU game that Lawan Watts had the ability to make game-winning plays. And this one, he was plus 27. I think the biggest thing for me was he stayed vertical in a lot of these back downs, didn't have any fouls, and he was able to get out of the hedge and make extra passes. What is that? How's that the testament to what he's been able to do up to this point?
Yeah, honestly, his energy in the first half defensively was unbelievable. I mean, the block he had in transition where he went and we didn't end up with it, that was the play that I was disappointed in. I mean, we got a 50-50 to start the game, and it was Lawan. He put his nose into it, deflected it. JP got it, and JP shot a 3 at top of the key and missed it, in rhythm. And then the next time down, they kind of had an advantage, almost had a wide-open layup, and Lawan blocked it. And I was like, okay, now we're talking, this is how this thing's got to look. And then we didn't end up with the loose ball. We dove on it, and then Jalen got a foul on that reach-around jump ball foul. But I just thought he had some really good wall-ups. His physicality guarding the ball was right, and he played it without fouling. And maybe this is more the numbers that we need to play him so we get the same amount of energy that we need defensively, and there's not just a long leave him out there and let him kind of get too tired where he can't stay with the same juice. And that's where Luke and Josiah really made an impact on us, and I think the numbers say that. And that's where Luke especially, I think, can keep us in the right minutes so our defensive intensity can be where it was. But Lawan was tremendous tonight.
You said even after the Houston game, hey, we might have won, but the defense took a step back. It kind of bled into UCF a little bit. But what have you seen from this last 3 games on that end of everything coming together with guys having more time on the floor together?
Yeah, I think it starts to me with Christian and JT and their approach. And I thought Christian and JT had made such huge strides, and I thought they were the reason why we were great in that Houston game, honestly, in stretches. But we didn't have that same intensity against UCF, and then it bled into, what was next. And for whatever reason, there's a fatigue part of this it's real. And I think what's separating us now is the experience that Don and Jalen and now having Luke, and to see that we got, and I think Leon Horner can help us. I think Nolan Groves can help us in the right transition. I think, having Jazz ready to go. I mean, now I'm just looking up there, and we've had now 6 practices in a row where we've had everybody on our team practicing. So, I mean, it's like we can get better in practice, and I think you can see it. I mean, to hold a team to, less than 30% on 2s and 3s, and to not foul a ton, and to beat them on the glass the way we did, 47-30. I mean, that's a Big 12 team that's got the right juice, and I think those guys, Christian and JT, getting some help over the course of the game has really been helpful, because I think their energy and their effectiveness is right.
Are you seeing Donovan kind of rub off on Jalen a little bit more as the season goes? Because he's had pretty good back-to-back defensive games, and looks like he's even moving the way Donovan does on both ends of the forward. How is that dynamic have you seen from them?
Yeah, it's fun. Here about 3 months ago, they've been shooting individually, and they started shooting together. And you want to talk about fun to watch. I mean, I'll rebound for that, because you stand right underneath the basket and pass it back out. And they really do talk a lot. And in the games, it's fun to hear them communicate things that matter. And Jalen is already vocal. And Don is a do it every day guy. And he's an energy guy by the way he plays, but usually actually he's an encourager. He's not necessarily a coach on the floor. And it's fun to see those guys, because now they're talking a lot and they're communicating, to your point, how to be more effective in a lot of actions. And because they're usually end up guarding kind of the same people, and depending on who's really good, they both take shots at them. And Donovan's legit confidence in our team winning and the way he's competing is special. And I think as a freshman, what you try to do is lean into being confident, but sometimes it can err on the side of cool and not even casual, but kind of like, hey, I'm arrived a little bit. And I think Don right now is the most consistent, tough player on our team. And I think he's showing it by the way he's shooting and the way he's fighting on the glass and the way he's competing defensively, and really is special to see those guys play together and how well they rub off on each other. All right, thank you. Hey, thank y'all. Wreck 'em.